All right, back for another one. Love it.
This one I'd see again.
This one, okay, cool. So,
Should say something.
it should say something. For those of you who've been watching us for a while, really do appreciate it. You guys, you're making this worthwhile for us. And we really enjoy sharing these things with each other. But because you guys are watching and subscribing and sharing, we know we're on the right track. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we got like another 15, 20 new subscribers.
We really appreciate you guys. And so for those of you who've been around a while, for Liam to say he'd watch anything again, it's like Simon Cowell hitting the button. See when someone would pass to Vegas or whatever the hell they do on that show. That was a bad reference because I didn't know exactly what he did, but I knew he was mean and doesn't really like people getting through. Anyway, lost analogies. This was a good movie, 100%. I went into it with a very open mind. Like, the cast is amazing. I know it's roughly supposed to be based on true events, but it's also Guy Ritchie.
Like Guy Ritchie's Snatch on Cox.
All right.
So it's going to be awesome and insane and just off the wall.
Yeah.
And it was everything I thought it was going to be based on those parameters, and I did enjoy it. So the movie we are talking about here today, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes.
And so,
To sum it up, I would say the movie is as if Indiana Jones and Inglourious Basterds had a baby.
dude, I got such Inglourious Basterds vibes from like certain scenes for sure, that I was just like, and I know about Tarantino, not Guy Ritchie, but I was just like, whoa, this is like both phenomenal movies. So anyway, really cool stuff.
I had a lot of Indiana Jones vibes with the camera footage and the style of which they were showing the action.
Yeah.
It felt very much like Indiana Jones to me for that. Because it was fun, it was whimsical, but at the same time, it was dark and fucked up.
It was,
I loved all of that.
yeah, it's a movie for a individual who can find humor in dark places for sure. And, that's something that a lot of veterans, me, and many others, have that gene, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You're funny. Dark, but funny.
And so I think that anyone who has been to war or enjoys soldiers, what should I say? Not war movies, but just movies about military, you probably will enjoy this one. Like I said in the beginning, roughly based on true events. They said that, Churchill released these documents many years later about this crazy group basically starting, as far as I understand, starting the Secret Service for Britain. It was the first undercover badass group that was unconventional and just did what they wanted and they needed them.
Felt like the birth of the SAS.
SAS, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I also mentioned, phenomenal cast. Henry Cavill did a great job. Him as well as Alan Ricker, who plays Reacher. I mean, those two guys alone made the freaking movie.
The boat scene.
With the axe.
Yeah, I was thinking the very first boat scene.
You're in trouble now! You've been a naughty boy! I'll give you 100 francs to shoot him. Don't shoot me! He hates Germans. You should really shoot him.
I'm sorry. You are very scary.
Make him walk the plank. He loves wood.
Tend to be drunken, flamboyant.
Yeah, and Nazis. There's so many Nazis died. Such a good. If you want to see Nazis get killed in extraordinary fashion, this is your movie.
Nazi heaven.
Like Inglourious Basterds was.
Yeah.
Because yes, from start to finish, they have no holds bar. I'm going to kill every Nazi. It's really cool to see. Just anyway. So tell us a little bit about the plot. What was the idea behind this? And then ultimately we'll dive into some more of the action, because there wasn't much character dialogue or any growth or anything like that. It really was a shoot 'em up, fun Guy Ritchie movie. So
Yes. So it was roughly like a Mission Impossible where the stakes only got larger and the timetable moved up.
yeah,
So they were forced to make decisions that they normally wouldn't have made, all within like a minute and a half of the original decision being made.
yeah. No, I got definitely some Mission Impossible vibes.
I have a mission.
I want you to lead.
But while they were like recruiting and getting the ragtag group together and like giving them the dossier of them all, I had Suicide Squad. Have you seen any of the newer? I had very reminiscent of that actually while I was watching that part.
If I'm to do this, I'll need my own team. You won't like them. They're all mad.
They'll need to be.
Of like, these guys are your anti-heroes, and they're all coming together to go on a mission that they may never come back from, a suicide mission, but yet they are literally your best chance at having this go right. So let's use it.
And if done right, you'll never know about them.
Which is what ultimately happened until many years later when we got our hands on some sealed documents. Well, we didn't, but the people that needed to get their hands on it got on it. And then also, did you notice that the gentleman, Fleming,
I was waiting.
that wrote the Bond series was featured in the movie?
Bond. James Bond.
Yeah.
And that's they say that he got a lot of his inspiration for Bond and what he wrote and all the things that he did there from those guys.
Yes. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up also.
Yeah.
I caught that watching it. I was like, Fleming, oh, that's got to be Ian Fleming, right?
It was, yep. It was yep. Absolutely a throwback. Yeah, so ultimately, you meet Henry Cavill's character and Alan Rickman's character who are, already in cahoots working together. They're on the boat. They're pretending to be flamboyant and drunk, ultimately, them, and then the son of one of his best friends, or one of his former soldiers that he served with, his son joins the crew and is like, the three you meet first. He's like the ultimate navigator, right? He can get you anywhere in the boat, basically.
And then the Frogman.
Frogman's cool, too. Yeah, but you see him after the fact as he pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's still one of the first few characters that you meet.
Correct, yeah, in that opening scene. And then, just the whole, like, chillness of, you sure you got it? Like, you good? Like, they're still shooting at us. How big was the fuse, right? Like, what's going on? And he's like, no, it's good, don't worry. Like, yeah.
Sweet.
They're bringing their guns to bear.
They'll find their range soon, sir.
Ready? Should we be worried?
Oh, I don't think so, sir. It's a rather large explosive, so I set a rather large fuse.
I located the outside of the powder room, so when he goes bang, it really should go bang. So, sir?
Should be any second now, chaps.
Ready? Good work, Frederick.
Thank you, Captain.
I believe working, with many people who were in the elite of the military. I was never there, but I've worked with many who have served on special teams. That mindset's ultimately there, right? It's kind of like that dark humor, but like really in the moment, like shit, they're not like afraid or breaking down. They're just like, they're laughing with each other almost, So I really enjoyed that opening scene. It really set the pace for the movie. Then we meet the rest of the team. They bring in the two other agents, and it's a really great ragtag group of people that they use. Again, not much character growth, but then again, it's not supposed to be there. And so Nazi Germany. So we're set in, World War II, Nazi Germany. They're ultimately, England's about to lose. They're looking for a way to get the Allied troops, USA, involved. They can't because Nazi Germany's basically got the control over the Atlantic and will sink anything that comes through. And so this
Who's in the war? Hitler is not playing by the rules, so neither are we.
Stop their monopoly over the Atlantic Ocean. They send this ragtag group of people in to basically wipe out the supply chain of air filters, which these submarines need. And once they do that, the submarines will, obviously have to pull out.
That's what she said.
And go where they can get these things that they need. And so we would have superiority. Everything goes awry. Nothing goes right. Plans fall apart. But ultimately, they see mission success, which is awesome. And so I want to talk a little bit about the planner, the guy they go rescue and is hooked up to the car battery. His character...
Turn that off?
Yeah. Can you turn that off? It's been on the whole time. That part was funny. I thought that, his character was very interesting. because he was just like, he had a mind that worked very different than the average person. Like, he could see all avenues. He could pick, like, you just gave him like a rough idea of what the mission was, and he would have a laid out game plan. And I believe ultimately, you know, having them have their mindset and being willing to like walk into basically death definitely served them. But I believe that the whole mission in itself worked and was successful because they had him. He was able to like see 3D, 4D chess.
And the fact that they had the utmost faith in him and the team.
There was no doubt in each other for sure.
That was an important aspect, because at certain periods of the movie, they're like, is everything going according to plan? And then everything falls into place, and he's like, holy shit, that actually worked.
It's like, it was your plan. That's, yeah.
I relate very much to that.
Yeah. So you would see it again.
Yes.
What made this the I would see it again movie?
It was engaging, it was fast-paced, and the fact that it feels like you didn't have time to catch all the nuances the first time through. Because the entertainment and the action, that kept you engaged the whole way through. Except there was a whole nother level that I was only starting to pay attention to, but I was focused more on the story and everything else first. So that's why I said I'd see it again. Plus, the jokes and the humor in it are timeless.
Yeah.
For my personality, anyway.
I thought as well, very entertaining. The action was right there on par with what I was what I would want to see.
And this is the Henry Cavill I want to see moving forward. Fuck the other versions of characters that he's done. This is the Henry Cavill I want to see moving forward.
I think that I'm glad that you bring that up, because I believe that touches on the fact that like I believe he'd been pigeonholed for a while there, right? Superman, Witcher, he was playing all these like hero type characters that are like, you know, and I think that the character he just played was very different. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
He got to play.
Yeah.
That is my wife!
It's very good.
And so I want to see him more in this type of role in the future.
I'm really interested.
Do.
Yeah, it'd be good to see.
Like Argyle. He was in that. He played the British agent dude.
Yeah.
But he was stuffy, and I hated his fucking hair.
Yeah, the hair was big.
But I'm just saying, even in a movie like that isn't as serious, he didn't have his chance to be what I saw in this movie. And I saw him in this Ungentlemanly Warfare movie, and he was absolutely the best version I've ever seen him in as an actor.
The acting was on par for, I think, everybody that was in that was just, they nailed the role. Like, they did a great job.
Yes. I also, Reacher's role in this, where he was this Canadian. And if you know anything about Canadians in war, a huge section of the Geneva Convention is written because of Canadians in war.
Yeah. How cruel they can be. Yeah.
So that's what I loved about his character, is that whole grotesque, no nonsense, we're getting this shit done, but we're doing it the best way I know how.
Yeah. I think personally too, some of the, like, obviously he has some of the bigger fight scenes in the movie, but they are some of the better ones too.
Now I'm just going to continue to call him Reacher.
Yeah. I mean, that's the role we've probably watched him the most in. I watched him in Titans. He played Hawk. I watched, like, he's been in other roles where he was really good, but I think Reacher is probably like the one me and you have talked about him being the best in.
Oh, hey. Sorry.
And we've also broken it down on the show before, and tell you, so if you guys haven't seen that old episode, go check it out early on. But yeah, so I just think that it was a great glimpse into a historic piece of time with enough spin on it that, you know, do we know if that really happened the way it did? No. You know, did we read the classified files? I certainly didn't. I'm sure people have. But do I care? No. Do I have a better understanding of like what it took and how it shifted and why, you know, Germany isn't a superpower today like it could have been if that had gone the way it wanted to? I think that was really cool to see those insights, as well as being entertained at the same time. So I thought that was, you know, when I would definitely watch it again, definitely recommend.
So I have this odd notion that I personally believe that if people do a movie about wartime or history, that should be as close to actual historical events as possible, because a large portion of the populace take entertainment as fact.
Yeah, 100%.
So I believe that movies moving forward, if they're not doing this enough already, should take that into account, that they're developing people and educating people, whether it's with the correct information or not.
See, I agree with the premise that you're bringing up. The issue that I have is that who's to say that history is correct? Because history, like there's a saying, right?
Written by the victors.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so our history, if you go to Japan or if you go to Germany or if you go to XYZ country, their history, their side of the story, that most likely very different than what we've been taught growing up, right? Because in many cases, we live in America. America has been the victor in many cases. We didn't win Vietnam. There's places where we've lost, but we've been the victor in many cases, right? We're still a superpower. And so we're able to write the story of what went down because we won. And I think ultimately too, that saying comes from a time when one nation won, when one nation conquered, really, they almost wiped out the other nation. All historical texts, religion, ways of being were like eliminated, which is the one reason why Genghis Khan was so successful, is because he was one of the true conquerors who adapted their ways into his culture rather than trying to wipe them out, which is why he was able to grow so large. A little interesting fact, but anyway.
That can bring me down a tangent about Christianity as well.
Yeah. Christianity was on a crusade to abolish and wipe the earth clean of anything that was not them. But so much has been lost to history because of crusades and conquering.
The Crusades?
But the genius of their marketing by turning
Flawless.
pagan holidays into Christian holidays.
Flawless.
Easy transition,
Dude,
I made a sales funnel to go pagan to Christians.
Where do you think sales funnels come from, dude? It was watching cults and religions and how do people indoctrinate and move people to follow a cause or a belief, or how do we shift that belief? Like a lot of that comes from studying religion. Studying cults come from, like, cults and religions are very similar. Just one is accepted and one isn't. And obviously there's a lot of cults out there and that have existed in the past that were very bad and do very bad things, but so do some religions. Yeah, let's not do this. Let's not go down this path because we will go off on some crazy tangents on this one. Circle it back.
All right. The evil Nazi leader. What do you think of him?
Thought he was evil. I thought I hated him. Whenever I saw him, I cringed, and I thought that was an excellent portrayal of that. I thought the one line they used to describe him was, like, really set the pace. Like, he's the guy, even, like, he's worse than even the Nazis. Like, he's that guy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, shit. And then you never truly see him be that level of cruel, but you can always tell by the way he portrays and acts that it's there. It's like right under the surface. And I was like, damn, that's a like, that was a good, like, he played it very well.
They humanized him too, though. They showed him falling for her.
Yeah.
So to me, they were humanizing him also.
Yeah. I think that's what ultimately allows you to hate him even more, is because you realize that, like, he does have a decent side, I guess, or a side that's longing for something decent, even though ultimately it goes back to this twisted shit that he does. Yeah.
I also really enjoyed the fact that she made him play dress up just because she said so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, they all did a phenomenal job with their roles.
Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. Where he's like, let's just have the party at home. And she's like, no, we're leaving.
Yes. Yeah. That part I absolutely love. She nailed that part for sure. That was like the wife telling the husband exactly what to do once they've already been married for a while.
Yeah, I have no idea about any of that.
No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Or Aaron.
No, I married her. I'm very happy to be the guy who gets told no sometimes, right?
I was saying sorry for the joke.
I don't know if she watches. I don't think she watches full episodes. She's way too freaking busy. She's out running freaking hundreds of miles and stuff.
Yeah, you're about to be doing that too. Anyway, him and his bow and arrow.
Yeah,
that was impressive, and I like the collateral kill too, where it went through the one dude and then pinned the other guy.
that was cool. That was the boat scene, right, where he shoots the guy, like they're on the dock, and he shoots through the one guy into the other guy, and he like sticks to the pillar. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't think it was a pillar. I think it was when they were invading the base to go get the mastermind.
Okay. I remember the guy just like the second guy sticks to whatever he's on, and then the first guy just falls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that is.
That movie just was a whole lot of fun. You don't have to think too much to be able to enjoy it. You can sit back, relax, and just be entertained.
Yeah.
That's my.
I would suggest not to think too much, because like if you go into it trying to make it like accurate, you're gonna like lose yourself a little bit, right? Because I don't know anybody, even the most elite shooters in the world, who walk around laughing and looking around and hit like that's pretty insane what they were doing in that movie, but awesome from the entertainment value, right? Like
Yes. He's like, look, no looking.
yeah, and they're just all headshots, dropping them. It's like, oh man, but yeah,
They were playing like little kids.
every fight scene, yeah, absolutely. Especially the Reacher character. That guy, you could tell he was enjoying himself when he was out there with the knife.
Too much.
Yeah. And that's what made, like, in a world where true evil exists, you must have those who are willing to do the things that those people did. And I'm very thankful that people like that exist.
Yeah, and I can see how it could be very important to make it more like play, just so that you could psychologically deal with the actions of what you are doing.
I think any psychologist, and I'm definitely not one, who would weigh in on this would say that's exactly it. Because the human brain is only, like, the human mind is only meant to be so okay with taking out other people, right? Unless you have a break in that, or you're psychotic, or there's a different thing going on for you. And so for the average person to be able to not lose themselves in it, there has to be that level of like humor or something else in it.
Yeah, without getting sucked down the rabbit hole completely.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So I think this is going to be a short episode. Just go fucking watch it.
Yeah, great movie, great visuals, great acting, well done. Not very long. Like, it's an average length movie, not a 2+ hour, about 2 hours.
I honestly, it was so much fun to me. I didn't check my watch once. I didn't even pay attention how long the movie was. It just felt right.
Yeah.
That's about the best review I've given anything.
Yeah.
So far.
10 out of 10. Go check it out. That's another episode of the G-Spot. You guys found it. And if you were here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. And we will see you next week. Take us out, Leo.
Hello, can't hear you. Please do off.